Welcome to Plex UX Sales Department training session. First, as you know, our company uses Plex system as our ERP system. Plex system has two versions. Classic version, which is an old version, and the UX version, which is the new version. And we are going to use the new version very soon this year. So if you are using the old Plex system, which is the classic version, then you may want to ask, why do we need to upgrade to UX? Here are two main reasons. First, UX fixed some drawbacks in classic, such as UX unified menus, buttons, and the interface. You might have noticed that sometimes the add button are in the middle of the page, and sometimes they are on the top left corner of the page. Also, the menus are very messy in the old system. The same menu appears everywhere, but UX unified everything and make them consistent. And the UX navigations are browser-based. For example, in Classic, you can't go forward, and there's a back button on the top left corner for you to go back. But in UX, you can use both browser forward and the back buttons to go forward and go back. And the UX has more functions than in Classic, such as lot management, substitute BOM, etc. However, the most important reason is Plex would stop enhancing Classic version from June next year, 2021. Let's start to introduce UX. This is the link to the UX version. And this is a login page. You have to enter your user ID, password, and company code. As you know, we have 3 entities, so each of them has their individual company code. For instance, if you are employee of New York entity, then your company code is 110. So if you are employee of Houston entity, then your company code is 110-Houston. Usually HR will give you your user ID and password on day 1 when you come to work for us. Now let me show you the system. Here is the login page of UX system. You have to type in your user ID, password to log in. Okay, this is a launch page. I will start from top left to top right, then to the middle. Okay, this is the menu bar. It has main menu and a role-based menu. The main menu is created by Plex, and it is based on your module permissions. If you see the small triangle icon here, it means it has the sub-menu under it. Then you just keep going until the small triangle icon is gone. Then it's your destination page. If you want to go back to previous menu, then you can click the corresponding buttons on the path. I want to go back to the accounting and the financial menu. I just click that. Then it took me back to this level. Also, if I want to go back to the main menu, I just click on it. The role-based menu is created by ourselves. Everyone has the All Users Office role-based menu, and depend on your department and the position, you will have another menu. So for example, right now I'm having the sales TM menu. Then when you click on this all user menu, it means everyone has those permissions, like employee expense, requisition, supply list, visitor log. And then if I click the sales role-based menu, those are only limited to the particular roles. So because the role-based menu is customizable, so going forward, if you want us to add a menu or remove a menu, you can let us know. We can do it for you. But it's still based on the roles, not the specific individual. Okay, next is the Plex icon. It takes you to the launch page wherever you are. Okay, next one. If you click on this drop-down list under your name, you can change password, choose language, edit your personal information, and log out. The next one is the companies which you have access to. When you click on the company name, you can switch to the specific company. This is a page title. For instance, if I go to customer return, it will show customer returns. It tells you which page you're at right now. Okay, let's go back. This clock icon shows the latest 20 pages you've browsed. I just have 2 pages right now, so if you keep going to other pages, it will only list the latest 20 pages. So you can go back to any of the page you've browsed. It's more convenient than Classic. In Classic, you have to keep going back, but in UX, you can jump to any of the latest 20 pages. Next is a little star icon. It's where you manage your favorites and reports. Let's go to customer return. So if you use this page a lot, then you want to save it, you can go to the star icon and add to favorites. Let's click OK. And in Classic, you can only set up one hotkey, but in UX, you can do a combination. Let's do Shift and F1. Okay. So if you go back to the launch page, your favorite page will be listed here. So next time when you press Shift and F1 together on your keyboard, it will take you to the customer return. Let's go back to the Manage Favorites. Then if you want to set this page as your home page, you can highlight the page and set as home page. Then a little house icon will be appeared here. Then OK. So when you click on the Plex logo, it took us to the customer return, which is our home page right now. If you want to remove the home page, then you still go to the Manage Favorite, highlight the home page, and unset as home page. Also, if you want to remove the favorite, you still highlight the page and then remove. Click OK. Then go back to the home page. Your favorite is gone. As you know, in Classic, we have many reports, and they are all shown as menus. So sometimes you don't really know it's a report or it's just regular functions. They're all mixed up together. But in UX, Plex put all reports under the reports menu. Here you can see all the reports which you have access to. Some reports there start with NY. It means it's customized reports. They are created by ourselves, so they are more flexible. Going forward, if you want us to change anything, to add a field or remove the field or add a filter, if the reports start with NY, then it means it's doable. Otherwise, most likely we can't do anything about it. Like those reports without the NY, they were created by Plex. We can't really change a lot, but we can still do like hide column or hide a filter, but not really to add something. For inside sales, I know you under your account manager portal you have some reports. They are menus in Classic, but right now they are reports, and some reports you can see they are end with dash user. It means you can only say the sales or customers or shipments or orders belong to you. So basically you need to be the inside sales of the customer. Okay, next one, let's take a look at the gear icon. It has 3 functions: refresh this page, duplicate tab, and a copy tab in test mode. So refresh this page is to refresh the page, but you can use other method to refresh because it's browser based. So you can use F5 to refresh the page, not necessarily use the refresh this page button. Next one is duplicate tab. It will create another identical page. Sometimes you need to open up multiple sessions to do different work, then you may need to use a duplicate tab. The third one is copy tab in test mode. It will still create another identical page, but it's in test mode, which means you can play around with the system in the test mode and it won't affect the production database, or your changes will be gone at midnight. So when you use the test database to play around with the functions or reports, just pay attention that the background is yellow. So the production database is blue and the test database is yellow. So just don't mess up with the production database. Let's move to the question mark icon. Actually, you are only gonna use 2 functions here. First one is the knowledge center. If you are familiar with Classic, it's kinda like the wiki button on the Classic. Usually if you have questions about function, how to use the function, you just go to the knowledge center and search for the function. It will teach you how to use, where it will give you some more details about the purpose of the function. So if you have any question in terms of a function, you can first go to here to search by yourself. Then you can go to send user support, fill in subject, and a detailed description of your question. Select priority, select the send to ERP, and select type, report, then click OK. Then our ERP team will receive an email. Besides this, you can also send us an email directly or just call us. But for IT department, you may need to use the support case from Plex, or you need to send an email to the help desk because they will ask you to create ticket first. Next one is the search bar. If you use Classic before, you may know when you press Ctrl M button, there's a pop-up window that you can type in keyword and search for a particular page. then it will show you all the results which contain the keyword. But in Classic, you will still have the same key, Ctrl M. But it will take you to the search bar. So you will still type in your keyword. And it will show all the menus and the reports which have your keyword. Let's come back to the home page. Here, as I mentioned before, it shows all the companies you have access to. And here's the message. If you say a message show up here, it means either someone in the company send you a message or Plex send you a message. Because sometimes Plex made some modifications on the system, they will send us a notification. So it will also appear here. Open assignments will list all the tasks or workflow steps that assign to you. So you have a centralized place to manage your workflows. And the favorites we've mentioned before. It will list all your favorites. And histories, it also shows the latest 20 pages. Now we finished the launch page introduction. Let's move to the page layout. I will use supply list as an example. Most pages are composed of 3 parts: filters, action bar, and a grid. You can hide or show filters or save as default filters so that you don't have to fill in the same filter again and again. You can just fill in once, then save as default. The next time when you open up this page, it will have all your filters filled in, and you can just click on search to get your results. Here I will just select GA and search. On action bar, you can add, edit, print, or move, or sometimes it has upload or export as those kind of actions. Here is the result. So when you click on search, it will show all the results based on your filters. If you want to click into the record to see details, you can click on the hyperlink. Or most of the time, it doesn't have the hyperlink. You have to highlight a record and click edit. Now, this is the detail of the record. As you see on the bottom right corner, it has 2 buttons, apply and OK. So you may want to ask, what's the difference? Apply is to save the record and stay at the current page. OK is to save the record and go back to the previous page. For instance, if I change anything, I click apply, I will still stay at this page. But if I click OK, it took me back to the previous page, which is the supply list. Sometimes it's more convenient to use apply rather than OK if you have to do workflow after you add a record. You don't have to be like in Classic that after you finish, you have to find the record again and continue your workflow. Okay, that's all for introduction session.